discrete time signals, we go for the discrete time Fourier transforms you're going to apply here. So this is for the non-periodic signal. Non-periodic signal is nothing but the example I told. My voice signal is a non-periodic signal. Everyone's voice signal is a non-periodic because I'm not going to say. I'm not going to repeat. No. So I'm going to talk the different words we are going to talk here. So different words will be having the different amplitudes will be there. So it is obviously the non-periodic signal only. Okay, now. For such a non-periodic signals, we go for the continuous time Fourier transform. For the discrete time signals, we go for the discrete time Fourier transforms. Okay, so like this, we are going to perform the frequency analysis of the signal for the continuous for the non-periodic and the periodic signal by applying the concept of the Fourier series expansion and the Fourier transform we are going to do, and we are going to evaluate the frequency analysis we are going to perform. Okay, so right. So next, you can ask the question, sir, we have come across the periodic series and the non-periodic signals, and we apply the Fourier trace Fourier transform. Then why do we need Laplace transform? Why do we need Laplace transform? Why do we need the Z transform? You have studied Laplace transform, right? In the in the network theory, and you have studied Laplace transform. You're applying the control systems you're doing, right? Control systems, whether you're applying the Laplace transform concept, you are applying, right? Whether you're applying or not. Apply ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ control systems ಅಲ್ಲಿ?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're applying the concept of the Laplace transform in your control systems. Okay, so you can ask the question, so why do we need the Laplace transform and Z transform here? So as I told the transforms, what are the transforms I told? Fourier series and the Fourier transforms. These transforms are applicable for the signal. Signal is the thing, but I'm having a system will be there. So for the system, I'm going to give the input I'm going to give and output I'm going to get here. So this is the system we have here. So I'm talking about the signals, what we are giving as the input and what we are getting as the output. For those things, we can apply the Fourier transform and the Fourier series we can apply here. Not for the system. Not for the system. For the system, suppose if the system is a continuous time system, means it is going to take the continuous time signal, then I am going to model the signal by means of using a Laplace transform. Okay, so you might have seen in your control systems, all the systems what you are getting. So the continuous time systems are nothing but the unlock systems. So these are nothing but the unlock systems. For the unlock systems, you are going to model by using the Laplace transform. Okay, so in the network theory, we have seen, okay, Laplace transform we have seen applied for the components, which consists of the resistor, capacitor, and the inductor was there. For this one, we took the Laplace transform, we represented in the S domain, and we took that one and we analyzed the signal and the system we have analyzed, right? So that is for the unlock systems. We'll apply the Laplace transform in order to model that one. You're going to do that one. Okay. So for the discrete time systems, for example, if the signal is a discrete time signal, whatever the input it is going to take, it is discrete in nature. Whatever the output you're going to get, that is discrete in nature. For this discrete time systems, you're going to model by using the Z transform. You're going to model Z transforms. So the Z transforms will be applicable for modeling the discrete time systems and the discrete time signal. We go for the this Z transforms will apply here. Now got the clarity of the different types of transforms, right? So Fourier series for the periodic signals, Fourier transform for the non-periodic signals. And for the continuous time systems, we go for the Laplace transform will apply here. For the discrete time systems, we'll go apply for the Z transforms you're going to apply. Okay, so these are the basic transforms which you're going to study. Okay, in the signals and systems, you are going to study periodic signals, Fourier transform, discrete time Fourier transform, and Z transform. And Laplace transforms already we taught in the network theory. We already studied in the network theory, and you are studying in the control systems you are studying. Okay, so these are the basic transforms here. So upon these basic transforms here, so there are many transforms are derived. For example, for the image processing, they derived something called as a cosine transform. They derived here. So that is the extension of the Fourier transform. So Fourier transform, it is nothing but e to the power j theta is nothing but cos theta plus j sin theta. So they taken the cos of this one and derived the transform called cosine transform. So in order to apply for the image processing applications, they have done that one here. Okay, so you got the different type of transforms, right? You got the different types of transforms, right? Any doubts in the type of the transforms? Any doubts? You got some idea, right? Why do we need these kind of transforms?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So now let us go for the Fourier series applications here. So you can take continuous time Fourier series. Continuous time Fourier series. Okay, so this continuous time Fourier series, the Fourier series has been derived by the scientist called Joseph Fourier. Joseph Fourier. So in the year 1829, in the years around some 1820s, he have invented this Fourier series application in order to model the electrical systems. Okay, in order to model the electrical systems, they derived the Fourier series in the year 1829, I guess. Okay, 1829. Okay, so this Fourier series, we can expand the signal in the many types of transforms we can expand here. The Fourier series we can expand in the many type of transforms, like we can express in terms of the complex trigonometric format, we can express exponential Fourier series, we can express here. So many forms we can express here. Okay, so among this one, I'm going to take the Fourier series in the expansion in the complex exponential series we are going to take here. So you can take the Fourier series. Fourier series has been invented by Fourier series has been invented by Joseph Fourier. Joseph Fourier. Okay, Joseph Fourier. So he was born in the 1768 and 1830. Okay, so he died. Fourier series, Joseph Fourier. Okay, so we can express the Fourier series in the different forms. So I'm going to take the complex exponential form. I'm going to take here. I can take the Fourier series. Fourier series in the complex exponential form. In the complex exponential form. Or Fourier series in the complex exponential form is given by exponential form for the discrete time, for the continuous time signal. You can take for the continuous time signal is given by okay, is given by like this. Okay, so we're going to define like this here. So usually we are going to apply for the periodic signal, and the periodicity of the signal will be equal to the t will be there here. T is the fundamental period of the signal here. So you can take let x of t be the periodic signal, be the periodic signal having a fundamental period, capital T, having a fundamental period capital T. Okay, then Fourier series is defined as Fourier series expansion of Fourier series expansion of x of t is given by Fourier series expansion of x of t is given by. So we are going to express the x of t in terms of the Fourier series expansion as a complex exponential series like this here. So x of t is equal to the summation k is equal to minus infinity to the plus infinity x of k e to the power of j k omega naught t, e to the power of j k omega naught t. So we are going to express the signal in terms of the complex Fourier series expansion like this here. Okay, so where x of k is nothing but the Fourier series coefficient. Fourier series coefficient. So omega naught is a fundamental frequency. That is called as the angular frequency we are going to call. So it is the fundamental angular frequency. Where omega naught is equal to, omega is equal to 2 pi of, or it is nothing but the 2 pi by t, where t is nothing but the fundamental period. T is the fundamental period. Okay. And k can take the value from minus infinity to the plus infinity. It will take the values. Minus infinity to the plus infinity, it will take the value. Okay. minus infinity to the plus infinity. So we'll take that one. So done, right? So now what you're going to do? What you're going to do is we are going to express the given signal x of t in terms of the Fourier series coefficient. We are going to find the value for the x of k. We are going to find the value for the x of k. We are going to find out. Okay, we are going to find the value for the x of k. We are going to find out, and for that x of k, that is called as a Fourier series coefficient. We are going to substitute in this expression, and we are going to find out the x of t. We are going to find out here. Okay, so done, right? This is how we are going to express here. So I can take where x of k is given by where x of k is equal to where x of k. So this x of k is nothing but it's a Fourier series coefficient. We can find out like this. So it is 1 divided by t. Okay, integral from. So t is the periodicity. So we are going to obtain the x of k from the x of t. We are going to apply. So it is nothing but e to the power of minus j, e to the power minus j k omega t into dt. E to the power minus j k omega t into dt. Okay, so taken, right? Where x of k is equal to 1 by t into integral x of t to the power minus j k omega t into dt. So here the integral is going to limit from the minus t to the 0 to the t, or minus t by 2 to the plus t by 2, or minus t to the 0. Like that it is going to vary. So for one complete cycle, we are going to take one complete cycle, and we are going to prove that one. So right. So this is the basic formulas for the Fourier series here. So we are going to express the x of t in terms of the Fourier series coefficient. So in the problem, I'll ask you to find out the x of k, and we can substitute x of k in the x of t, and we can express like this also. So depending on the problem, we are going to do it here. So make a note of these two formulas here. These two formulas, based on these two formulas, we are going to find out the Fourier series coefficient. We are going to find out here. Fourier series coefficient we are going to find out. Done. Okay, now let us go for the problems on the Fourier series coefficient. So any doubts in this one? Any doubts? Okay, so make a note of this formula. So 1 and 2, make a note of these two formulas at the end of your notebook. At the end of your notebook. Okay, so let us take the problem on this one. Take the problem on this one. Obtain the Fourier series representation. We can take in short as a FS. Fourier series representation for the waveform shown in the figure below. Shown in the figure below. For the waveform shown in the figure below. Okay, so you can take -1. So this is the x of t, which is defined. The signal is going to vary like this. Okay, so this is a periodic signal. So this is the incomplete line denotes that it is going to be expanded. So this value will be equal to 1, and this value will be equal to the 0 will be there here. So that value will be equal to 0, and 1 will be there. 0 and 1. So right. So this is a periodic signal here. So you can observe the periodicity. When you're finding the periodicity, you can make sure that it is going to be distributed equally in the negative axis as well as in the positive axis here. You can see it is periodic from -3 to the 1 is there, -3 to the 1. So instead of that one, let us divide equally for the positive and the negative axis. Positive and the negative axis, let us divide here. So you can take the fundamental period from -2 to the +2, we can take here. So it is going to repeat like this, -2 to the +2. Again, it is going to be repeated like this here. So you can take, this is the periodicity of the signal we can take here, -2 to the +2. So the fundamental period t will be equal to the, so -2 here, +2 here, it will become equal to the 4 will get here, 4. So the 4 is the fundamental period of the signal here. 4 is the fundamental period of this one. So I can say that So T will be equal to the fundamental period. It is equal to the 4 units or the 4 seconds. We can take it here. 4 units or the 4 seconds. Okay. So let us find out the omega. So omega is the limit already because it is, we know that it is the 2 pi divided by T. So it is 2 pi by 4 will become equal to the pi by 2. Pi by 2. That is the fundamental period we are going to get. Pi by 2. Okay. So this is the angular frequency. And let us define the signal x of t here. So x of t, let us define with this in interval. So from -2 to -1, it is having the value 0. So you can define. So -2 is less than t is less than -1. It is having the value 0. Again from -1 to the +1, it is having the value 1. So it is 1 from -1 is less than t less than the +1. It is having the value 1. And again from 1 to 2, it is having the value 0. So we need to take for the one complete cycle, we need to take here, not for the entire signal. Okay, so one complete fundamental cycle we are going to take here. So for that one, we are going to represent the signal like this. Okay, so any doubts in defining the signal? Any doubts? No doubts, no? So yeah, we need to find out the one fundamental period we need to find out here. So for that one fundamental period, we need to find out the periodicity we need to find out. Okay, so now let us represent this one in the Fourier series formula here. So we have the, in order to represent, we need to find out the Fourier series coefficient. We can take the Fourier series coefficient. The Fourier series coefficient is given by, the Fourier series coefficient is given by, so it is nothing but x of k. X of k is equal to, so it is 1 by t. The limit is, so for the one complete cycle, we are going to take here t, x of t into e to the power of minus j omega into t into dt. Okay, so x of t e to the power minus j omega t into dt. So this is the Fourier series coefficient. We are going to do this one for the one complete cycle. We are going to do it here. So this is the duration of the one complete cycle and the corresponding amplitudes are this one. So let us do for this one. So 1 by t is nothing but, it is the value of t is nothing but 4 here, 4, and in limit. So it is going to vary from -2 to +2. Among this one, it is going to exist at the -1 to the +1 only. So you can say -1 to the +1. The value of this one is 1 here, and e to the power of minus j omega is nothing but, it's a pi by 2. I'm going to substitute the value for the omega as pi by 2 into t into dt. Pi by 2 into dt into t into dt. Okay, so this is the value we'll get here. So done, right? Now let us substitute, integrate this one. You know the integration of e to the power of ax. So already you know this one, e to the integration of e to the power of ax is nothing but, so e to the power of ax divided by a. Let us do integrate this one. So x of k is equal to, so it is 1 by 4. 1 by 4. The integration of this one is e to the power of minus j pi by 2 into t. So divided by minus j pi by 2, minus j pi by 2. Okay. E to the power minus j pi by 2. So yeah, sorry, one term is missing here. K is missing here. So you can take k into t. So I think I given in the formula, right? Yeah, it is k omega t is there. So k is missing. You can add the term k here. So you can add e to the power minus j omega k into t into dt. So this will become e to the minus j pi by 2 into k. Okay, the limit is, so here k is a t. The limit is from -1 to the +1. -1 to the +1. So you're going to substitute the value for the t. We are going to substitute. Okay, so x of k is equal to, so here 4 is there, pi by 2 means it will go to the denominator. So the 4, it will become 2, this will become 1. So you can write 1 by 2 into minus j pi k in the denominator will get here. Substitute the upper limit, it is, it will become e to the power minus j pi by 2 into k. We are substituting the value of the t minus, so when you substitute t is equal to -1, it will become e to the power plus j pi by 2 into k will get here. Pi by 2 into k. Pi by 2 into k will get. Done, right? Okay. Now let us, we know the some of the basic formulas we are going to recall here. So we know e to the power of j theta minus e to the power of minus j theta divided by 2j. So this is nothing but sine theta. Sine theta, you know, right? So sine theta is equal to e to the power of j theta minus e to the power of minus j theta divided by 2j. So here you can minus, you can multiply here. So it will become e to the power of j theta. Okay, minus e to the power of minus j theta divided by 2 is there, j is there, minus will combine here. So this will become sine pi by 2 k will get here, sine pi by 2 k. So you're going to express in terms of sine or cos here. So x of k will become, so this will become, so before that one I'll write once again here. So e to the power of j pi by 2k minus e to the power of minus j pi by 2 into k. So divided by 2j. I'm going to combine the remaining term is nothing but pi into k is the remaining term. Pi into k is the remaining term. So we know that, so sine theta is nothing but e to the power of j theta minus e to the power of minus j theta divided by 2j divided by 2j. So you're going to represent here. So x of k will become, as per this one, it is sine in place of theta is pi by 2 into k. So divided by pi into k, pi into k, divided by pi into k will get. Done, right? So any doubts in this one? Sine pi by 2 into k into pi k will get here. Now we can find out the Fourier series coefficients. We can find out here x of k. So here k can take the value from minus infinity is less than k is less than the plus infinity. It will take here minus infinity to the plus infinity to take. Let us find the value for the k here. Okay, so you can make a table of k here. So k, other one is nothing but x of k. Let us make another table of x of k here. So we need to find out the coefficient. So when k is equal to 0, let us find out this one. So for this one, you can take the calculator. You can type the formula. Keep your calculator in the degrees mode. Degrees mode, you can keep it here. Okay, and you can find the solution. We can find out here. Just I'll take the calculator. So just a second, and we can find out the. So you can take the calculator. Okay, so you can, the formula called the CALC is the CALC button here. So you can type the same formula you can type. So it is sine. Keep your calculator in the degrees mode. Okay, so sine. Type the formula. So it is a pi by 2. It is nothing but 0.5. You can type here. 0.5 pi into k is not available. You can use the alpha a. You can use here. Close that one. So divided by pi into divided by, you can open a small brace, you can open here. I think you can't see in the calculator, it is not visible. So divided by pi into alpha a. You can use a button called CALC button. You can use here. When you use the CALC, substitute a is equal to 0. So this will become math error because it is having the infinity will be there. So it will become the math error. So for k is equal to 0, it is not defined here. So we can make sure that this is for k is not equal to the 0, because the k is there in the denominator. This is for k is not equal to 0. So if I got to tell, so we need to find out for k is equal to 0 also. We need to find out data. Let us find out here. Now let us find the values for this one. Let us substitute k is equal to the 1 year. You can again press the CLC button, press k is equal to 1. So it will become, you'll get the value for that one. So sorry, you can keep your calculator in the radians mode. You can keep it here, not in degrees mode. Keep it in the radians mode. Okay, so type a is equal to 1. You can type here. So it will become how much value will get. How much you'll get here? What's the value of 1 you'll get here when you substitute k is equal to 1? How much you'll get when you substitute k is equal to 1? My voice is audible, right? Are you doing the calculation? Are you doing the calculation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, for k is equal to 1, how much you'll get?
1 by pi, sir.
1 by pi, very good. So you kept your calculator in the degrees or radians mode? Which mode you kept? Can you hear me? Which mode do you kept? Degrees or radians mode?
Radians, sir.
Okay, fine. So for k is equal to 2, how much you got? For k is equal to 2, how much you got? It is 0, no? For k is equal to 2, you got 0. How much you got for k is equal to, everyone doing the calculation, right? Excuse me. Are you doing the calculation, right? Calculation ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how much you got for k is equal to 2? See, if you are going to practice along with me, you'll come to know.
0, sir.
Okay, otherwise, if you're not practicing, means it will become difficult. For k is equal to 3. Substitute for k is equal to 3. How much you'll get?
Minus 1 by pi, sir.
Minus 1 by pi. Okay, very good. Okay, so similarly, you can substitute for the negative values also. So I think negative values also will get the same answer will get. So you can check for that one. Okay. So I can do up to the plus or minus 4, plus or minus 5, will get the same answer will get. Okay, so done. So this is how we can find out the Fourier series expansion. In the next class, let us see some more problems related to this one. Some more problems let us see in the next class. Okay. So I'm going to ask the quiz, so I can answer the solution for the quiz here. Okay. So anyone knows, you can answer the quiz. For the continuous time non-periodic signal, which transform you're going to apply? For the continuous time non-periodic signal, which transform you're going to apply?
Laplace transform, sir.
Continuous time non-periodic signal. Yeah. Laplace